me just give you a quick walkthrough on the scene, just so you know what we are dealing with here. Let's just turn off the add-on. Okay. So as you can see here, there is like this broken perfume here that I just made. Like I went to edit mode and then started with the knife tool, and yeah, just started uh cutting vertical to each one another, and then I clicked on each object and separated it by clicking Control P. So let's say we'll click this face, and I will press Control P, P, only P, and then press Selection. And if you go now to object mode, you will see that this one is a separated object. So this is what I did for this one. And for the light, I have a really basic setup. Now this light over here has a 8.2 strength. I also did this one in the back that will only go through the plane, which by the way, the plane has some light transmission in the shader, so that we can like have some lighting effect from the back as well, like some gradient. And there is also this light on the top which has 35 strengths. Okay, so this was the basic setup. As you can see, there's so much named outside. This means just the pieces of the perfume, the broken perfume bottle. So yeah, and I also did one more thing. For the settings, I'm using cycles with the max samples of 600. And when it comes to color management, I'm setting this to filmic and the look to high contrast. So yeah, this was it for the setup of the scene. Now we will go straightly into the way we did this animation. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can see this empty here. Now this one is part of the animation. This will be like the controller of where our glass will be heading in. Okay, so let's just go to this viewport shading and make sure instead of setting the color to material, we set it to texture. This way we'll be able to see even the texture of our object in the viewport, in the material viewport. Now, I forgot to tell you one more thing, which is the collection too. Now, what it is that it just has a collection of the object you will be adding on the perfume bottle. This will simply be the growing object. And as you can see, I have three. So let me just, okay. So this is a branch and this is a leaf. And here you will find a flower as well. So these are the three I'll be using, and of course you need to make sure that you have the scale applied, whether you've maybe adjusted the scale or something. You just go here, apply, and then scale. You just need to have the scale applied so that you can have the right effects. And you need to have the scale applied for the perfume bottle shape as well. Now let's get everything back and let's hide these ones. You could just uncheck this collection because we won't really need it, and it will not affect our animation. So now the most important parts is that we need to add our add-on, which is by the way for free. I just created this one, and I would really love to get your feedback on it, as I'm really trying to build something that is helpful and that just is not out there yet. So I really appreciate your comments and feedback on it. Feel free to use it. It will be down below in the description down below. So just go and download it and let me know what you think about it. So in order for you to get the add-on, just go on the link I sent to you. And as you can see, there are some really cool features on here that we will be exploring in this video. So yeah, you just go and you just so the minimum is 0, and if you feel generous, feel free to add more. But click on I want this, and then you just fill in these informations and click on get. Now you will have your add-on downloaded. Now we will get back to our Blender and go to edit, then preferences. And if you haven't installed it already, you will go to install from disk. And now you just go and search for, okay, you'll just go to the version you just downloaded, because there are actually two. There are supposed to be more, but I just kept deleting and adding new ones. So yeah, this is the one we'll be working with. I just downloaded this earlier. So this is the one we will be working with, the Growth Addon 1.1. Install from disk and then go to the add-ons, so it's installed. Then go to the add-ons and make sure you have it enabled. So here it is, I already have it enabled. So yeah, now we will go select the object we want to make the animation on, and then just go to the geometry node editor, press new, and then shift A, then click on the add-on you want to have. Now here it is. And now you can just close it or move it down, because you will not be needing it. So as you can see, it's already here in the modifiers tab. So I'm just going to pin this so that whenever I click another object, it will just stay there. Now there are some filters here, and don't let anything confuse you. I will go through everything here. So the first one is growing plants. Now what it is that we will just add the collection of the plants we will be using to make the animation. For me, it will be the ones I just showed you earlier, the flower, the branch, and the leaf. So it's called collection 2, and we add the collection 2. Now the controller is what will be controlling where our plants will be growing in. And for me, it's going to be the empty, as I already showed you. Let's make sure it's the same one. Let's make sure we just don't have another empty. Okay, so everything fine. So these are empty. Now you still don't see anything, because you first of all need to make sure that you go to the weight painting. Now I skipped all of these, but only because this one kind of like will just screw everything for you if you don't use it correctly. So now the weight painting is just a tool that helps you uh, control where exactly the animation will be growing through weight painting. So yeah, just go here and go to weight painting. As you can see, everything is red because everything will be covered by the flowers and the plants and all of that. But if you don't want to use the weight painting at all, you just go here, click on this box, and then select the UV map. Now, if we go back here, everything, we can start seeing some of the flowers, which are not that much because we haven't tweaked these settings yet. But yes, I will just go through the weight painting one more since we have already started it. So let's go back to the weight paint mode. I'll just go to this vertex group. As you can see, we already have a group. But what if you delete this? Everything will go back to blue. And if we draw something, you can see there's a new group added. Now, there are still some flowers in here. This is because we still haven't added our group to it yet. So we'll just go here to group, and then you will see no, it's not really visible because we don't have that many density, but you will see that there are some flowers here on over the lines. If you go and make the density of the plants, the growing plants, bigger, let's say something like 100 or 90, I'll go for 90. It getting more. We still need to tweak other things so that we can have this more obvious. Now just go back. I'm not going to use weight paint here, just wanted to like clear out this tool. I'm just going to select UV map so that we can have everything selected. And let's go back to object mode. Now the next thing we will be controlling, I don't really want to control this thing because I just want it all to be covered in. But in case you don't want really your objects colliding, you just tweak this up so that the object that you will be adding will stay will not collide into each one another, and this actually depends on where the origin of each object is placed and how much big they are. So I'm just going to set this back to 0 because I don't really want this in this effect. Now let's just go make this more visible. For the maximum scale, minimum scale, I will go with something like 0.2. And for the max, I will go with something 0.3. Now you already see something. I don't really want to make it too much. Now you can make the density really high if you want to cover it all. Let's just make it 200 maybe, and it's all covered. It's not all covered. These ones are not covered because these ones are separated objects. But if you join them all together, they will be covered. We'll just try it out. So press this and Control G. See? But I don't want it to be covered. I just want to have some empty places. I'm not going to go with this number because my laptop cannot handle it. So I'll just go back to 100 and it looks pretty good for me as well. Now, there is one thing you need to pay attention to as well. If we go back to the controller that is supposed to control where the start and the beginning of our animation, like where the objects will be growing, no matter how we move it, it's not like changing. Like it will change. It's starting to fade now, right now, but after we like move this something really near that we can't even see on the mode on the camera view. So just go back to our normal position, and this is because we have the growth animation value set really high. I'm sorry I forgot to set this one high and just uploaded it this way, but here you can see you just need to make it something small, maybe 2 will work good. So here it is. If I just move this one far, this is how we can control it. And as you can see, the more it gets closer, the more the scale gets up, and the more it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So yeah, in order to make the animation I showed you for only this part of the bottle, we're not talking on this one yet. We'll just go to the timeline, go to the first frame. I already have this animated, sorry, but I'm just going to show you. So as you can see, I choose to start the animation in frame 8. I don't know really why, but you can start at 0, doesn't matter. And I set it to this position, and then let's go back to frame 110. It's here. But I've also tweaked one more thing, because if you see, now we have this like nothing over the perfume, but if you go through this, you will see that the value and the density of the object is like thick and as all the other edges. But if you go to the last frame of our animation, this is starting to fade, which is totally normal because we have this one like it's getting far and it will go and it will fade. If you want, now you can just make it in the middle, which will be fine, but I want to show you this just in case you will dealing with something much bigger than a perfume bottle. So you just grab it whatever you want, and we will go and add some animation to this growth animation. We'll add some animation to it. I will go to the first timeline. I will let's set this to 0, okay? And then press I. We want it to be exactly 2. And then we will go to our last frame and we will set this high, maybe 10 to cover it all. We don't need that much, just 5 to cover everything. Okay, I might add some more. Let's say 10 and I. So now you can see it's like animated. And even still there are some it's not really full, and this is because this parts this is because these are not parts of the perfume bottle. This is the actual parts. So yeah, of course it will not have the same density, but you got the points, and this is what you should do in case you've been confronted with the same issue. So yeah, there are still two tools that you can use, which are really cool, but unfortunately will not really serve us in this animation. But of course, I will just walk you through how it works. Let's just now add the normal cube. Oh my god, this is so big. Now, my perfume bottle is really small. I just had to make it small to in order to get the right lighting because I've been struggling kind of at the beginning with lighting. I still do, but we learn. Okay, so this we will press M to add it to a new collection. Let's say this is going to be the avoid, and that will tell you exactly why I named it this. Now let's make the cube a little smaller and make sure to apply the scale as well because as I said, the effect will not work. Actually, you need to apply the scale on anything, any modifier you do to your objects in everything, your shadings, everything will matter if you don't apply it. So we have two more things. We have the grow avoidance influence, which is basically it just controls whether you want to have something that the objects will avoid and that will not grow in, whether you want that this tool to be enabled or not, whether you want just to control it in a simple way, the empty or the weight painting. So if we set this maybe something 0.6, I will show you also what this does after we add our collection of the cube. You can add many objects and add them to a simple collection. Let's say you have a field and you just want to add some rocks and you want the plants to be smaller there or even not there. You just add them to one collection, add them here in this avoid this collection. So I'll select my collection and here it is. You already see that it's affecting, and when it's near it's the flowers and the object there disappear, the instances disappear. So if we set it to a value like 1 maybe, it totally disappears, and I don't really want that if it was a rock in a field, so I will set it somewhere smaller just to have small smaller ones. We still have them, but smaller instances. Now I'm not going to use this tool now, so I'm just going to set this back to normal 0.6 and delete the cube. So if we set this maybe to 0, it will increase. But if we overdo it, it will increase, yes, but on the inside. So we just set this to 0 to have our normal shape size controlled only by the controller. Now let's go back and use this weight painting tool. Now I will be using it on this lid. I also use this add-on on this part over here to just unpin this, and yeah, I just disabled it so that we can do everything together again. I'll just enable it since you know how, and it just has the same settings. Now I will go to this lid over here. Now I will be using something totally different. Let's again add our add-on, our geometry node add-on. By the way, if you were curious to know how I built this add-on, you simply just go, and once you have the add-on installed already, you just go, and as you can see, it's a geometry node tree. So you just click here. You want to insert into group. You just click into this white icon. Okay, boom, here it is. So if you could understand this by your own, it's really fine. It just took me some brainstorming to get some tools over here. But if you would like a video where I go through exactly how I made this and what every one of these does, just let me know in the comments again. I will have the same values. I'll maybe add something lower since it has a lower scale. I'll maybe add 15. And for this for the object, I will add the empty as a controller as well. You know what, let's just go and select the same one we have on this one. So it's named the Growth Addon version 1.1. I'll go and select this one. I have so many because I've been trying so many. Now What we want different to be, first let's make sure to apply the collection. What we want to be different is that we want to be using the weight paint. Okay, now so let's go to the lid. The same things. So let's just go to the vertex. Instead, this time I used the weight paint instead of the regular controller. So yeah, I just painted and the value just kept getting here. So yeah, this was all for how I did this animation for the perfume bottle. I still wanted to show you one more thing that I think will be really valuable to improve your renders and animations, which is the compositing. So we'll just go to the compositor, and I just added some notes to have the better effect. So I added a lens distortion note, and I'll show you what this does. I'll just go to the render mode, and make sure you have compositor enabled always, check always, otherwise it will not work. Let's start with the lens distortion node. What this does is that it just changes the distortion. I don't know how else I'm going to explain it. I'll just show you what it does. It just zoom in, but not really zoom in, just you can see this. I think this will be really cool if we had an animation. uh Maybe we want something luxurious, something mysterious, I don't know. So I'll just set it to the value it was 0.07. Oh no, I'll just make it 0 for now. And the dispersion, it has a value of 0.07, 0.05. And what this does is just like increases the colors that you have. And the more lighting that you have, the more like the stronger the effect will be. So this is the value I used for this one. Now I have a color balance. Basically, I just tweak the color a little bit. So this one just has a value closer to here with a hex value of tag FFF7ED. And this one has a value of tag F6F4EC. So yeah, these just tweak the colors. And this one, I just the gain one, I just let it normally. I didn't change anything. And I also added a glare node. I set this one to blue with a mix of minus 0.1. The more you increase it, the more like the scene disappears and only the effect will be. And this one, the threshold basically controls what are the values that you want to be like blooming when the light is stronger. So if you set this to lower, everything will be like bloom because there is light everywhere. But if you set this to something higher, like it will only select a few ones that have some light in it. And this just controls the size of the light around you. So if you see around the flowers, the top one on the lid, this one, it just like kind of some raise, decrease, and increase. So yeah, this was all for the node I used. So yeah, this was all for the video. I kind of tweaked the colors in the color balance now, just get it back to what it was. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. Since you've come this far, make sure to like and subscribe. And also just make sure to visit my Instagram account in case you would like some advice or maybe have some recommendations for the next videos. And also, I would really, really appreciate it if you could let me know because I'm kind of curious. Let's just hide this one. I'm thinking of adding a new tool in the add-on. I'll leave it for free for now. I'm just thinking of like, what if we could draw a line? What is the line? Okay, whatever. What if like we could draw a line or maybe a curve and make our animation follow that curve? It will be like a new tool so that we can make some more cool stuff with it. I would really appreciate it if you could let me know down in the comments or just let me know on Instagram DMs. Let me know what you think of it and yeah, cheers.